Very good. Sheffield obviously just held you guys down all night. Basically, what made him as good as he was tonight?
Well, he's real good. We know that. He's as good as advertised. We've seen it for 3 years, and I've seen him kind of grow and develop in much better command than he's had in the past. And when he has command, he's really good. He's up to 98 tonight, 95 to 98 early on, and was throwing that great changeup. And shoot, when a guy can do those two things, let alone have another pitch and a breaking ball, which I don't think was as good tonight.
Right.
But that was about him. But I thought our offense did some things. I thought we swung the bat pretty good. We hit some balls at guys. I thought, go back to Nick Senzel's first at bat when he hit a ball really hard to Toffee at third. We put Brody in the lineup tonight, and I thought his first two at bats were as good as I've seen Brody take in this program off such a quality pitcher. The one down the right field line, and then his second at bat too. Obviously, Kendall has to make a great play on the one down in right field. I wasn't disappointed. Obviously, we didn't score a run, but I wasn't disappointed with how we were swinging the bat off of how good Sheffield was early on, and we were letting him supply the power a little bit. I thought some guys, a couple guys like Benito, for example, I thought he was overswinging a little bit, and you tend to get long when you're trying to catch up to that. But I thought for the most part the lineup functioned well. Schultz had a good night, but he didn't get any credit for it. He hit 2 balls on the screws, and we hit and run in the one inning with Derek, and he gets a ball over his head and puts a good bat on the ball, and the shortstop makes a good play to turn a double play. So there was some unluckiness in it, but sometimes you have to create your own luck too.
Aaron Soto, obviously, first 3 batters has a tough time, then just cruises after that. Just what worked for him once he got past that home run?
Well, honestly, and Aaron would say this too, when he came out of the bullpen, he had good stuff. And then when we started the game, he's starting his first Tennessee Vanderbilt game, so he's probably got some emotion going on, some butterflies. I didn't think his stuff was real sharp early on. He was up in the zone, left a changeup up to Coleman, and he hit in the gap. And then got the ground ball for Kendall that we made in air, and then left the ball elevated to Reynolds, and you can't do that to Brian Reynolds. He's going to hit balls over the fence. And then he totally turned it around and was getting early outs, and just the whole complexion of the game changed. I thought for the 7 innings, even though we were down 3-0, that was a good baseball game. I mean, it was going at a good pace. There was a great tempo by both pitchers. And then it came to a screeching halt in the 8th inning. And it just goes to show when you're not throwing strikes and it's long innings, it becomes sloppy, and it makes baseball hard to be good, and it makes baseball hard to have fun at.
How does Sheffield compare to the other top arms you've seen so far this year?
I'd say he's so far off of what we've seen. He's in probably the top 1, 2, or 3. To be honest with you, I don't want to judge. I think we've seen some good pitchers on Friday nights, but he's tough. He is tough. His stuff is explosive, and I think he's done a very good job of commanding his stuff because early on in his career he was. You can get some walks out of him, and now he's filling up the strike zone, which you heard me say this all year. When guys do that, it makes them tough, and now you put stuff on top of that, and it makes them really good.
You kind of explain what happened to Brian Reynolds' home run there, what Aaron did wrong in that situation.
Well, he left a fastball up, and Aaron can't do that to anyone, let alone Brian Reynolds. We know how good of a hitter he is, and he's a good hitter, and he made us pay for that, and that's what good hitters do, and put 3 on the board for them in a hurry. But never, again, as I said, as the innings kept going, I never felt we were out of that game. There was a couple times we were hit away from being back in that game, and Jordan just didn't allow us to get that at that moment.
You mentioned the screeching halt at the end there. Another night for the bullpen being a little bit of a venture.
Yeah, very disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the 2 guys that I went to are older guys, and I can only compare to going that I went to Harper Cook. Didn't want to have to use him tonight. Didn't want to have to use 3 guys out of the bullpen. And, that's his very first outing in a Tennessee Vanderbilt game, a kid that grew up here. And I thought that he had the best stuff of any of them. And here's a true freshman. And so, with the Will Neelys of the world and the Alex Harper Cooks and some of these younger guys that are continuing to give us some quality innings, I've got to stop being so stubborn and start going to those younger guys and letting those other guys watch those younger guys, because they're giving us a better opportunity to be successful as a team.
Would you think, you obviously had to shift the lineup up a little bit tonight because of Max. What would you think of just what you got out of everybody that was moved between Senzel at short and getting Brody back in the lineup? I thought
Brody did a good job in his position. In his first 2 at bats, he did a good job. I thought he swung the bat aggressively. Schultz, I thought, swung the bat well. Didn't get credit for it. Nick going to short, he didn't get a play tonight. Not a play that he could make. Obviously, there was a couple of hits that went by him, but it is what it is. I mean, we don't have many options, and we've got some injuries, and we've got to just go with what we have. And it wasn't a case of the lineup, the guys that are out of it, of why we weren't successful. It's just they did more than we did tonight.
It sounds like Hayden Stone's season may be over. I know you don't know who you'll face Sunday, but have you decided who you're going to throw?
Well, I'm going one game at a time right now. Zach Warren will start tomorrow, and if we have a chance to win the game, then Andy Cox can finish the game for us, and I'll worry about Sunday. That's kind of where we're at right now, and I'm not. We're just trying to play one game at a time. It doesn't matter who they're starting. We're worried about tomorrow right now for Saturday or for this weekend, and that's all we can focus on.
Do those first 7 innings today give you confidence going into tomorrow if the team's able to repeat that same performance?
Well, I always have confidence, to be honest with you. There's never been a game that I've ever gone into that I don't have confidence in our team being successful. Like I told the team, we got to clean some things up, and obviously we need to do a better job of scoring runs. But I believe we could show up tomorrow and beat them. I mean, there's no reason why we can't.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.